Hi everyone. Now, can I see a chat? That is the question here. Hi everyone. Okay, I can see the chat. That's all good. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes, see if anyone joins us, and then I will just start blabbing. I did discover that I cannot go live on Instagram like I was hoping to because I don't have enough followers. So here is your task. If you guys want me to be able to go live on Instagram, now I'm filming it and I will try and post it to Instagram. Actually, I might just post this to YouTube or something. Anyways, doesn't matter. Like and follow me on Instagram. Let's try and get me up. I just need 1,000 followers. I think I'm close to 900. So please tell all your friends. Go follow me on Instagram. Okay. I'm just going to start talking, and then if you hop in, say hi in the comments, and tell us where you live, where you're coming from. I did see from some of the answers to the questions, the group questions, that we have people from all over the world in this group, which is kind of exciting. So I'm really curious how you found me, because I feel like I'm this tiny little person in this tiny little town. So I'd love to know how you found me. Also, hoping the sound is okay. And if you can hear my fans, I'm really sorry, but it is like a gajillion degrees outside and I don't have air conditioning. And so with all the lights on in here, I start melting very quickly. So I have to keep the fans on. Apologize if you hear the noise. So why are we here? This is the Drifting Leaves shawl make along, crochet along. And this is the pattern that hopefully you guys have all purchased. And this is the shawl that we're making. And I'm super excited about this. It's a beautiful shawl. It's a beautiful pattern. I have made other projects from this designer, and she's always so clear, and her instructions are so clear. She also includes photos, and I have asked everyone to buy the pattern. I mean, you can get it for free on the blog. However, if you buy the pattern, you get this. This crochet chart is going to save your life, because the sections, when you get to the lace sections, there are just a whole lot of words, and it's going to be really easy for you to lose your place. Yeah, it's going to be really easy for you to lose your place. So if you have the handy dandy crochet chart to follow, then it's easier to find where you are and where you need to be. Alrighty. So let me just back it up a little bit and introduce myself for those that don't know me. My name is Allison, and I run Not Just Yarn. So we are I say we, it's the royal we, although I do have a lot of supporters and I have teaching partners, but anytime I say we in like a newsletter or a post, it's the royal we, because it's just me. I do it all. I do all the tech, I do all the ordering, I do all the planning, and I make a lot of the samples for classes, although I do have help for that. But yeah, it's really just me. And so yeah, my name is Allison, and I live in this little community called Ladner, which is a part of the city of Delta, which is in the Lower Mainland. So if you know Vancouver, BC, we are just south of Vancouver on the coast. And I used to have a brick and mortar store. Rents are a little stupid, so we had to close the store, and I took everything online. And it's been a lot of fun. We're still building and learning new things, trying new things. This is one of the things I'm trying, and we will see what the response is. So let's talk about the CAL, the crochet along, and the timeline, what you can expect. and all those kind of things. So today is the kickoff call. The CAL officially starts today. I say officially, but I mean, there's no crochet police. I'm not going to police you if you don't have time to start today, or this is just something that you're putting into your virtual WIP pile. Please come back anytime. You can watch these videos, interact, ask questions. The group's not going to go away, and I will be checking in with the group. But as of today, we are officially going to start, and I am officially going to start my second one, and I will show you the yarn that I'm going to use for that in a minute. And over the next like 3-ish weeks, I think it is, maybe a little less, 2-ish, 2.5, we are going to be making this shawl. The first section of the shawl, I'll get my sample, this sort of solid pattern is just a whole lot of double crochet. So it goes fairly fast, but there are a lot of stitches, so keep that in mind. But it's very simple, it's mindless, you can do it anywhere, it's just, there's a whole lot of stitches that you got to keep track of. I will talk about supplies in a few minutes. What else did I want to say? Okay, next call is August 13th. Now I'm hoping that everyone can be sort of well established in the solid section pattern or finished. If you are finished that, then you're ready to start the lace section, which is where this crochet chart comes in. And once again, please, please, please buy the pattern. I know you can find it for free on her blog, and that is a fantastic resource that she has provided for us, which is just amazing. But I know from the little designing that I have done, mostly washcloths and things, that hours and hours and hours and hours, like countless hours, go into creating patterns like this. And that is just the making of the thing. And that making will involve frogging multiple times. And then you have to take that thing that you've made and all the notes that you've scribbled down as you're making it and turn it into a written pattern. She has in her pattern and on the blog tons and tons of photos of all the different fancy stitches that are in the lace section. So that also takes time, taking those photos, editing them, uploading them, creating the PDF. So I encourage all of my students to buy the pattern if they can afford it. I didn't check to see how much this one was. They're usually around $7 to $10. That's a couple of Starbucks really, so maybe even one if you go for a fancy drink. And that just helps her continue to do what she loves to do, which is write beautiful patterns. There is also, I just saw this today, on her blog there is a very similar shawl, which also looks really beautiful. It has a different lace pattern to it, but if you love this one, give that one a try too. Okay, so that is the 13th, same time, same place, right here in the group, and I'll set up an event for that a little bit later. And then on August 21st, we have our second check-in. And this one is sort of to see your progress on the lace section and how you're doing with it. If you have any questions, what are you struggling with, that kind of thing, and I can help you with that. And then on the 24th, we're going to wrap everything up. Do not feel like you need to be finished by then. If, you know, I understand it's summer and life gets in the way. Well, it's summer in my part of the world anyways. Life can get in the way. I totally get that. But please come to the call and we can celebrate your progress. If you have finished, please bring it. I think you can put photos in the comments, so I would love to see photos. I would love to see photos in the group. Progress reports, post your pictures of your supplies as well, and just like let's all kind of ooh and ah over what everybody is using. Yeah, and then that's kind of it. Like I said earlier, this group is not going to go away. It's going to live here forever on my Facebook page, and you can come back and ask questions and post photos and like leave comments and all this kind of stuff, and we can celebrate together. Okay, let's talk about supplies. First of all, you need sock yarn. And I know as crocheters, we tend to prefer like a worsted weight or bigger because it's easier to hold, the projects work up nice and quickly. And using a sock yarn, well, it takes longer. I get that. However, you're not going to get this kind of drape with a worsted weight yarn. You're just not. Maybe a sport weight, but again, you're going to be using a small hook, and it's a thinner yarn. But there are lots of patterns out there that are absolutely gorgeous that require sock yarn, and I, for one, am embracing my sock yarn era. I'm in my sock yarn era, everyone. And I'm hoping to make a lot more wearables and whatnot with sock yarn. So the sock yarn that I used, I don't have the specific colorway here, is called Evolution Cotton Sock. It's from my supplier Estelle. And it comes in all sorts of fun striping colors. So you saw this one. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough of this colorway left for you to do an entire shawl, but you could mix it with one of the other colorways. Having said that, I don't remember off the top of my head what that colorway was called. But let's just go through the ones that I do have. This one that I just showed you is called Tulip. So it's pinks, it's a little bit of purple and yellow and like a tealy green. This one is called Citrus. Greens, yellows, oranges, and a bit of gray. This one is Cupcake. So think birthday party sprinkle cupcakes. We've got this lovely like turquoisey blue. We've got like a lavender, a pale gray, and like a fuchsia pink, and a little bit of green. There's all sorts of colors in here. That would be a fun one. And oh, I've got two tulips. Oh, here's the other one. Gumdrops. This is the other one, Gumdrops. It's got lots of purple and like 2 shades of purple, kind of a grayish blue-green, pink, orange, yellow. That would be another really fun one. So this one here, Citrus, I think would go nicely with these colors. I think you could mix and match. So that is what I use to make my sample. And I don't know if you saw in my Instagram, I had to frog almost an entire repeat of the lace because I realized that I didn't have enough yarn left. This is what I have left of my 4th ball of the cotton sock yarn. It was not quite enough to do an entire lace section repeat. So that is what it is. Knowing that now, I am going to buy enough because I want to make my lace section deeper. I'm going to buy enough of the yarn that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you in a second, to make sure I can do that. So this is the yarn that I'm going to use this time, and this is the colorway as well. This is the Evolution Silk Sock, also by my supplier Estelle. This is the colorway Cactus, and that's what I'm going to be making my second shawl out of, and you will see that one come together and grow in this group. I'll post pictures and progress reports. Also, it'll go up on my Instagram. So that is the Cactus colorway. I have a couple of samples here. This is what it looks like crocheted up. This is just a simple moss stitch. If you, I know this is not a knitting project, but if you wanted to knit with it, like you actually wanted to make socks, this is what it looks like, knit up. So I think that's going to be a really fun colorway for a second shawl. It's going to give a more uniform look than the striped effect that I have for my first one. I really like the solid that she uses in hers. Let's just pull that picture up again. Like this solid, you can really see the lace details in it. So I'm hoping that this silk sock will give me more of that effect. Excuse me one sec. Okay, other colors that I have in the Evolution sock. Silk sock. Sorry. Choking on air. That's fun. This one is called Wine Gum. And this is the one that I made my little Sophie scarf with. If you have been following along on Instagram, then you've seen this little Sophie scarf. So I think that would be a beautiful, like if you wanted to take this shawl into fall, that would be a beautiful colorway. The next one's called Crayon. More primary colors. And I have some samples of what it looks like. This is it crocheted and knit. And that would be super, super fun. The next one is Tropic. So more pastel colors. We've got some purples and oranges in there. And I also made a Sophie scarf in this colorway. Well, it's not really a Sophie scarf. Sophie style scarf. So that's the Tropic. And then the last colorway I have is Rainbow. And I don't have a sample of this. I thought I did, but I couldn't find it. So this is very similar to the Crayon, but the colors are deeper. So this is more like spring, summer kind of rainbow colors. And this would be like a deeper sort of fall rainbow colors, in my opinion. So that's the Evolution Silk Sock. That's what I'm going to make my next scarf with. Other options are the Sock Twins Crazy Ball. So I've got 3 different colorways here. This one is called Rocket. It's like pinks and purples. So the way these work, and I'll show you a sample of a knit sock. So for this one, I think she did it toe up. So it starts with the dark and then color fades into this magenta. Once you finish your sock, you then find the next dark section and you start sock number 2, so they match. But I really like this sort of slow ombre color fade. I think that would work really well for this shawl. You would probably have like rows, sections of each color, and I think that would just be beautiful. Unfortunately, this one, the Grape Crush, I don't have enough of for you to do an entire shawl. The Rocket I do, so this one fades from this pinky mauvey kind of color all the way to like a deep indigo-ish kind of color. This one is called Firecracker, and it fades from the black to a bright red. And the third one is called Inkjet, and it starts black and goes to a pale gray. And those 3, I have enough for you to buy 3 or 4 balls. If you buy 3 balls, you're going to be playing a little bit of yarn chicken. The pattern calls for just over 3 balls worth of yarn. So you would need to reduce, I'm suggesting you reduce your solid section by a row or 2 to make sure you have enough to do the whole leaf repeats. But I do have enough to buy 4 balls, and then you could just have a bigger shawl. Now the other, I didn't put it on the supply list or anything like that. I haven't posted photos. I'll add them because it just kind of came to me later. But I do have a fourth sock yarn that could work for this as well. It is 100% wool. Well, not 100%, it's got a bit of nylon. But it is more, it is a warmer weight sock yarn, so that wool. But if you wanted to take this shawl into wintertime as like a winter wrap or something like this, this could be beautiful. So I have, this is the original Evolution sock yarn. And this one is called Marble. So black, white, or blacks and grays. This comes in some fun colors. This one is Beach Glass. And then we have Cowboy. So like reds, blues, greens. All Sorts, think Licorice All Sorts, at least I think Licorice All Sorts, and Rocket, not to be confused with the other Rocket. This is like, I'm gonna say fireworks rocket, like rocket red glare kind of a thing. So that I didn't put it in the supply section. I think the yardage is probably a similar. It's 400 meters. Yeah, it's the same yardage as your silk sock. So same rules apply. If you want to buy 3 balls, you're playing a little bit of yarn chicken, and you might have to reduce your solid section. If you buy 4 balls, you can definitely get a deeper, wider shawl. Just for you guys, I have a special coupon code. I'll put it in the group later after this is done. If you are shopping on my site for sock yarn, put in the coupon code SOCK, S-O-C-K, and you will save 20%. Now, it's only good for sock yarn, and it's only good once. So purchase all your sock yarn at one time and you get 20% off. And that is good through to the end of the CAL. And then after that, it goes away. What else do we need? You need a 3mm crochet hook. And I meant to bring in what I have in stock and I completely forgot. So I will post those in the group later. But this is my 3mm crochet hook. I can't remember the brand. It's either Clover or it's from Hobby. I don't remember. This was like, I bought a set when we had the store. But you need a 3mm crochet hook. And I am suggesting, I'm just going to bring up a handful of them, stitch markers. Okay? I like these little sort of paper clip looking ones that are locking. We have, you are working with 311 stitches for the solid section. So I think I put stitch markers every 50 stitches. You can put them every 20 stitches, 25, 10. It doesn't matter. This is just for you. It just helped me keep count. Once you get to the lace section, the stitch markers kind of go away because you're not really dealing with like rows and rows of the same stitches. Your stitch markers would move around. It'd just be a pain in the butt. So I ditched the stitch markers when I got to the lace section, but I used them for the solid section, and they saved my butt because I was counting along and my stitch marker was in the wrong place. I was silly and I thought maybe I just miscounted, and I kept going, and then I realized nope, I am definitely missing a stitch, and I had to frog 2 rows, well 1.5 rows basically. I had missed going into one of the double crochets on the row below, and that threw off my stitch count. So stitch markers will save your life. And I have several varieties in the shop. I know some of my ladies, sorry, it's dry. Some of my ladies like the really big ones. I have the big Clover ones. I just like these little ones. Then I find they don't really get in the way of what I'm doing, but I do love that they lock and they don't fall out and I don't lose them. Well, that's a whole different story. I will lose them, but that's not because they fell out of my work, put it that way. Okay, what else do we need to talk about? Adjustments. Like I said, you can add rows. You can add a whole lace section. You can make this your shawl. If you want that solid section to be deeper. Now let me just put it on for you, model it for you so you can see. And I'm not tall enough for the, hang on. There we go. So you can see where it falls. Now this is why I wanted my lace section to be bigger, because I want this to come down further in the back. But for me, the solid section is wide enough. I don't think I would make any adjustments to that. However, that is easy to adjust width-wise, like width, height, whatever height we'll call it, because you can just like add or subtract rows. So if you want that one to be deeper, just keep adding more rows. If you want your shawl to be wider or shorter, I can't remember off the top of my head what my finished width was. I feel like it's a good width. But if you wanted it to be even longer or slightly shorter, the stitch multiple is in the pattern notes. So right here in the pattern notes, the stitch multiple. And the stitch multiple is 32. So if you want to shorten, make it narrower, your shawl, you reduce your starting chain by 32. Yeah, sorry, reading all the words. It's very important. And then if you want to make your lace section bigger, you are just going to repeat, and there's instructions on here about which rows you repeat in your lace section, and you can just repeat those as many times as you like to get your lace section as long as you like. Yeah, but we can cover all that in questions in the group, so please feel free to leave them in the group. I think that is all that I have to say today. That was a little longer than I was thinking that I would talk. But please put your questions, your comments, introduce yourself. Please interact with this in the group, and let's all have fun. I can't wait to see some of these shawls come together. So bye for now, and I will see you soon.